You are watching MAC football right here on ESPN. And finally, conference play set to get underway between Bowling Green and Kent State. BG trying to upset yet another homecoming for the second straight week. I'm Anthony Lima, so excited to be joined for the next 3+ hours by Buckeye legend, Steeler great Ryan Shazier. And Ryan, everybody around the college football world still buzzing about the upset BG pulled off at Minnesota a week ago.
Yes, Bowling Green, they're coming in here with the #2 defense in the MAC, and they upset Minnesota big time last week with causing a lot of pressure. They were blitzing all over the field. You see the sack right here. They only allowed 61 yards of passing, and they just had guys blitzing all over the field causing turnovers. And then you see these 2 turnovers right here that ended the game and allowed BG to be able to win this game in nice fashion.
Yeah, their coach Scott Leffler said not a shock at all. And we'll see what they have in store for a second consecutive week. Now Kent State determined not to let their homecoming get spoiled here at Dick Stadium. It is a fascinating matchup, and it all starts at quarterback. One of the more experienced veteran quarterbacks in all the Mid-American Conference, Dustin Crum.
Dustin Crum is a guy that the Flash really believe in. He can throw, he can run, he can just spread the ball around. He has talented guys all around him. So Kent State is going to trust in him and then also believe in his run game.
Put up over 300 yards a week ago at College Park, but fortunately he has these guys to hand the football off, one of the more talented backfields in the entire conference.
They have Cooper and Williams right there, and you see both of these guys, they add 2 different things to the offense. One adds speed, one adds a little bit of balance, and they're going to trust this top 15 rushing game to lead the way for the Flash today.
What a matchup we have in store for you on the campus of Kent State. Finally, we're into conference play. MAC football coming up around the corner. Don't go anywhere. So BG's kicking off. It was a celebration for the ages for the Falcons last week. Who could blame them after the unbelievable 14-10 upset on the road in Minnesota? Only one problem, Ryan. Scott Leffler gave his kids 24 hours and said, it's back to business.
Yeah, 24-hour rule, man. You have to make sure that you just focus on celebrating for 24 hours because you know you have a tough opponent coming up this week, and that's something that they do have in Kent State.
And now when it comes to Kent State, obviously the pedigree is there for Sean Lewis, somebody who played under Barry Alvarez and who runs the football like Wisconsin. Well, these guys do. And actually, most years, they are at the top of the heap in the NCAA rushing the football.
Sean Lewis, the coach of the Flash, he definitely wants to make sure that they start with a solid run game. And one thing he does, he adds a little bit of fast flash to it. So let's watch it.
All right, kickoff right here. We welcome you to MAC football. We are underway at Dick Stadium. It's homecoming, and it is a touchback where the Flashes will take over the football, the 25-yard line. We are in for a doozy. A lot of people around the country looking forward to this matchup here today. Can Bowling Green do it again against Kent State with Dustin Crum as the starting quarterback? We got a chance to talk to Coach Sean Lewis this week. He's so excited about what a veteran and all that leadership that Crum brings to the table. Now a graduate student.
Yeah, one thing that they trust about Crum is that he's going to make the right decision for the team. He's a veteran guy, and it's going to be a fun one to watch.
They'll go from the gun. You'll see this often. Crum, they're barreling down on him. The completion over to Dante Cephas. Boy, he had a big week just a week ago, and he doesn't stop there. 10 catches last week. First play, he's got a catch.
He does a good job of just forcing the release and then being able to get that first down. They say they want to always start off with a nice first down to start off a drive.
And then it's go, go, go. Tempo, a big part of the game. Cephas again, he has blockers. Makes a man miss, he's out to midfield. Just like that, 2 plays, 20 seconds in there at midfield.
You see that they want to get Cephas the ball. Johnson gets in front of him, causes the nice block, and just allow him to get the leverage and get another first down.
They operate quick. You've got to pay attention. And yet another screen. And this time Cephas barreling his way past the 40. It looks to be another Golden Flash first down.
You see today, they want to make sure Cephas gets the ball. I think they see something in the defense that makes them feel like Cephas is going to be a big target for them. So let's watch him today.
Working on Devin Taylor. He had the game-winning interception a week ago. Their first handoff of the game. And that is up the middle. Some big-time positive yards to start things out on the ground for Marquez Cooper.
Cooper follows between Gregoire and Allen for the first down. Yeah, for the first down. I'm sorry about that.
A little bit of movement. And this is the helter-skelter that at times this offense operates with, that the defense has to stay patient and keyed in. At the same time, sometimes you want to move so fast, maybe you get off schedule just a little bit.
Yeah, you've seen that in the situation right there. They're just trying to go, and not allow Bowling Green to get guys in position, and they end up being out of position themselves.
The Falcons already have subbed out on the defense on the previous play. It is a handoff from the shotgun. It's Cooper out to the 30 now. He's finally tackled. Very patient run, but still able to get some big-time yards to get that penalty back.
Cooper does a good job of just following his blocks, and then he goes in and then just finds the open hole and then gets 7 yards.
They'll operate from the gun, and now the handoff again. Crum holds it to that last second. And Ryan, it's got to be so tough on these linebackers and a lot of these Bowling Green defensive players to be keyed in on just how late they might hand the football off.
Yeah, you have to definitely be keyed in, especially when teams have this RPO offense. It allows Dustin Crum to see what the linebackers are in, and he makes the linebackers make a decision, then he can make one. So it's always tough on defenses when you're playing an RPO style of offense.
So a 3rd down and 2. Officials conferring right now. I think trying to figure out the substitutions, making sure they're good to go. But we were warned this week by Coach Lewis they were going to be fast, especially after first downs. They've had no problems picking up first downs so far.
Yeah, like they said before, Coach Lewis, he wants to start off with their first down on the drive, and then once they get going, they just speed it up, and that's what they've been doing right here. So now they have a 3rd and 2. The referee's the ones that actually slow them down in this situation. So we're going to see what happens in
There is no foul in the play for illegal substitution. The 12th player got off the field just before the snap. 3rd down.
Now BG, 3rd down situations so far this year, 25% success rate for the offenses against them. Now Kent State, they've been able to pick these up at 40% so far this season. We'll see what they can do from the pistol formation now. First time we've seen that today, and all sorts of movement once again on the snap count.
Prior to the snap, charge timeout, Bowling Green.
And Bowling Green able to call timeout. Stick with us. Big 3rd down coming up next. Seen some of the great traditions around college football. They're trying to start one here at Kent State with the whiteout here, homecoming weekend. The fans absolutely everywhere on campus, around campus. A great student feel for this one, and now a big offensive play on 3rd down. 7th play of this Golden Flashes drive.
Anthony, I can almost guarantee they're going to run the ball in this situation.
And Ryan Shazier on the money. The question is, did he get the first down? He absolutely did. What did you see out of that formation?
When you have a top 15 rushing offense, why would you not run it on 3rd and 2? You know, so I feel like they believe that they can run the ball well, and that's exactly what they did in this 3rd and 2 situation.
And probably had 2 plays ready to go in case it did not succeed. Man in motion, instead the straight handoff, and just a few there on first down. Bowling Green just really wants to try to settle in here. They've given up more big plays already, more first downs they did all last week in the second half. So it's been an impressive drive mounting for Kent State. Crum with all day to throw. He'll look to the end zone, and that ball floats out of bounds. I thought that maybe he thought he had a free play, as there was some movement on the defense, but nothing doing on that, and just a straight incompletion.
Yeah, they definitely thought they jumped offside. So, like you said, he thought he had a free play. So he was just trying to throw a jump ball, see if he could get a touchdown in this situation. And unfortunately, it wasn't offsides. And Bowling Green actually did a good job and not in a 3rd and long situation. So
3rd down and 8. And there's the handoff. Twisting and twirling and staying on his feet. All the way down to the 2-yard line. Cooper, a sensational run, absorbing contact and continuing to get down near the goal line.
Cooper does a good job right here of following his lineman, and he just breaking all the tackles. This is all him right here, getting to the edge and then just bouncing and getting out of bounds and getting the 1st down.
That's why they are so potent. There's the handoff. This time, the Falcons are ready for him up the middle.
It looked like they tried to do the same misdirection play right here, and the Falcons were ready for that one. They're like, 1 time is enough. So let's see how they do on this 2nd and long situation, 2nd and goal situation, and try to force them out outside of the touchdown.
Brock Horn among those that were in on the play. Boy, they absolutely love Horn and Anders defensively. They were so huge a week ago. Crum will hand it off again. This is Cooper walking into the end zone. What an opening drive by the Golden Flashes as the right side opened right up, and they put 6 on the board.
The Golden Flash, like we've been saying, they start off with the run. They give Cooper the ball. He's patient, just sits behind his tight end Ratchet and just pushes his way into the end zone. That's why they love this guy Cooper, and he just does a good job of getting in the end zone right here.
It's an incredible drive. You noted, Ryan, before the game, you'll see a lot of movement on these extra point attempts. But this time they will kick it, and it's through. 7-0 lead. An impressive opening drive by the Golden Flashes. They did it with the screen passes, and on the ground, we'll see if BG has an answer next. Welcome back. It is MAC football right here on ESPN. Early drive by the Golden Flashes, so successful as they were able to waltz down the field in very little time. It was a quick start and exactly the way that Sean Lewis and the Flashes wanted to get going. But now some decent field position for Bowling Green and Scott Loeffler's bunch. He lamented all week inability to run the football, but out of conference against some steep competition, they've been facing some big boys. They thought they might have some opportunities today. McDonald will throw from the get-go, and that ball is complete. So some positive yardage to get going by McDonald, who's been extremely accurate so far this year.
Yeah, McDonald, he has a leading percentage in MAC right now in passing percentage, and they just want to make sure that they constantly get the ball around. They definitely want to establish this run game because it's really hard to have a solid offense if you can't run their ball. So let's see if they can establish it today.
Had a couple of touchdowns as well near the goal line last week against Minnesota, helped propel them to the big upset victory. McDonald will start to roll out to the right. He's got his target. It's caught short of the first down marker by about 3 yards, setting up a 3rd down and short.
Yeah, they did a good job of moving the ball on the run. They tried to get the ball deep, but they weren't able to get it deep, and they dropped it off to Guracek. And it's 3rd and short. 3rd and short is always a good situation because you can run all passes in this situation.
Austin Osborne onto the field, high school teammate of McDonald, Mission Viejo. And he's looking out in the flat. Ball is complete. It's Andrew Bench who's able to make the grab and move the sticks for the Falcons.
So you see how they move Sims to the flat and then allow him to just get leverage. And then one thing that teams like to do that can't run the ball really well, they use the short passing game to allow them to be able to run the ball. And that's what you see BG doing right now.
under center for the first time today. The handoff and room to run. Finally tackled at the 30-yard line. Nice run by Jason Patterson.
Patterson right here, he gets the ball, then he follows both his linemen, Bankwell and Grant, and then you just see how he, right there, you see he just follows his lineman, look where he's going, and then just make sure he gets out of bounds. That was a nice run and probably his longest run of the year.
Nico Bolden saves the day. He came out of nowhere to make that play, or else it could have been potentially 6 on the board. This handoff before he's tripped up over the middle for a few yards.
With Bowling Green being able to see that they were able to strike a run like that, I think they feel that they can be able to run the ball versus Kent State today. So like Coach Leffler said earlier this year, let's make sure we can run the ball, and I think that could be a key to victory for them today.
Patterson back on the field, and McDonald working out of the gun. 2nd down and 8 with Patterson in motion. To the far side, the quick screen. It's caught and close to the first down. The Falcons able to get something together here, but some of it started with the run, something that they felt they just haven't been able to do so far this year.
Yes, one thing that they've been able to do so far is run the ball effectively. They got about 30 yards with Patterson on the run earlier today, and now they're constantly getting themselves in 3rd and short situations, and this allows them to be able to run or pass the ball, and it actually opens up their playbook a little bit because it has been a little bit difficult for them earlier this season.
Teron Keith now in the backfield. 3rd down and 4. Broden was in motion, and it looks like we have a timeout.
Clock expiring. Bowling Green calls the 2nd timeout of the half.
Big 3rd down. Stick around. Welcome back here at Kent State. PG finding themselves down 7-0, but an opportunity here. All the way down at the 22-yard line of the Golden Flashes. 3rd down and 4. From the gun, Broden is in motion. And McDonald looking, throw it over the middle. It is caught down to about the 15-yard line, and it's enough for a Falcon first down.
Right here, you see the line. They do a good job of setting McDonald up, and then Sims just sit in the zone and allowing his quarterback to have a huge target to throw to first down.
From the 16-yard line, impressive first drive now by Bowling Green. McDonald on the move. He'll throw it the last second, wisely out of bounds.
The Flash do a good job of coming off of the edge, and Bowling Green, they was trying to get the ball on the edge and do a roll pass, but with the Flash sending a blitzer, sending Lawrenceburg on the edge, it causes McDonald to be able to throw the ball away. One thing Bowling Green definitely has to do in this situation is make sure that they at least get back to 2nd and half, or 3rd and half, or 3rd and short. Because with these 2nd and longs, it's going to be really hard for them to convert for this touchdown.
Jalen Embry entering the game from the slot. There's some motion there. McDonald will look complete to Osborne, but that one is stuffed in a hurry. Seemed like Golden State was ready for it.
Yeah, the Flash were ready for that one. Kent State, they seen that one coming. They tried to do a fake jet sweep and then get it back to Osborne, but they were really looked like they were in man coverage right there, and there was no way they could get away from that.
3rd down and 11. And the crowd, some of the students down in the corner of the end zone, starting to make their presence felt. And all sorts of laundry on the field. We'll let the officials sort this one out. Our head referee, David Siegel.
False start, offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Cade Zimmerly flagged on the play. BG right now, second most penalized team in the Mid-American Conference. Something we'll be keeping our eye on today as the Golden Flashes actually draw the most penalties in the conference. But now we're in conference play. Flags again.
Ball start. Offense, number 10. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Scott Drive, an offensive coach, just absolutely insane. They've been going through a lot of substitutions.
One thing that's really dangerous in this situation, I know they have a lot of young guys on this line, but with them keep getting these penalties, it takes them out of field goal range, so they have to be careful.
So Patterson now in the backfield. It's 3rd and 21. Just like that, a promising drive starting to get derailed. McDonald will move up the middle, keeping his eyes dialed in down the field, but nowhere to go. He runs out of bounds, and that probably will do it for the drive. We'll see now if they can salvage 3 points on what was a very promising drive.
Kent State sent the blitz up the middle, and it forced McDonald to step out of the pocket. And you see Harmon, he does a good job of forcing McDonald to run out of the pocket and just run for some extra yardage so they can be in field goal range, because it was nothing for him to find right there.
41-yard attempt coming up from Nate Needham, the senior. Ball is up and through the uprights, so they are able to come away with 3. And important that they got something out of that drive, especially a drive where Ryan, they actually were able to run the ball a little bit.
Yeah, they were able to run the ball, and that's one thing that they've been trying to focus on all season. So to see them be able to start off with a 21-yard run and then be able to accumulate some passes to help this offense, I think this is going to be a really exciting game today, because it's been really tough for them to run the ball on some of these teams that they were playing earlier in the season. And just to know to be back in the MAC and be able to run the ball in the MAC, I think that made them feel really good in this first drive.
Needham, his 6th field goal in as many opportunities so far this year. In fact, even nailed a 50-yarder earlier in the season down in Knoxville against Tennessee. The drive 11 plays, 38 yards, 5 minutes, 56 seconds. And that is something you want to pay attention to. Can they sustain some lengthy drives? And who knows, if they don't get the penalties on that drive, maybe they still have it.
Yeah, if they didn't get those penalties, I think this would be a totally different situation. They might have 7 points in this situation, but Bowling Green, they have to make sure this young line understands when we get in the red zone, we have to capitalize. So we're going to see how this game's going to keep going moving forward.
Here is the kickoff. Mason Lawler puts that one into the end zone. So they'll start at the 25-yard line. Well, the Golden Flashes, we talked about it before the game. We knew they'd want to run the football. And certainly they would want to run the football with that man, Marquez Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper does a good job of just following his line. And then on this play, you see he does a good job of avoiding the tacklers and then just getting on the edge. And then you see right here just following Hatchet into the end zone and just using his wheels and getting in there.
So BG, wonder if the defense a little shell-shocked after the outstanding performance a week ago, and that opening drive almost seemed too easy. And this one, Crum, I don't know how he got out of there. It looked like he was going to get tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Instead, he's able to pick up some positive yards.
There we go, like we said before with the RPO. He does the fake run, but then he actually reads and keeps it and does a good job of avoiding the tacklers and getting 5 yards.
This time the handoff. Again, another patient run, but this time does not pay dividends by Cooper.
Cooper just followed Gregoire. He got the first down on that play right there, and I think that's exactly what they want to do. Like we said earlier before, they just want to get this first down.
And another delayed handoff. Man, they will really hold that in there. You hear so much, one of the buzz terms in football now, mesh point, and you see a lot of teams screw that up, but they're holding on for dear life to the last second.
One thing that Kent State understands is they have a fast quarterback, so they can hold it off as long as he wants to.
There's another handoff. Cooper is brought down around the 40-yard line, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
did a good job of just following his lineman, but Bowling Green, their D-line is just stuffing it, and then now he couldn't run the ball at all. Looks like they're about to send a blitz.
3rd and 4 as Crum looks back to the sidelines.
Bowling Green does a good job of blitzing guys from all over the field, so let's see what they're about to do in this situation.
Crum, he looks Cephas' way, then he went the other direction. Nearly tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Flag on the play. He does pick up the first down with the wheels. However, that flag thrown in the area which is traditionally holding.
Bowling Green does a good stunt right here, which causes the O-line to be pressured and makes Dustin Crum step up in the pocket.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 44. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down. Defensive player number 7 must also leave the game for one play due to his helmet coming off.
So another costly mistake by Bowling Green. The penalties starting to mount up.
Yeah, Bowling Green going to have to do a better job of not getting penalized in this game, or it's going to really hurt them in this situation. And Brooks on that penalty right there.
Carl Brooks with the big 15-yard flag. And Kent State staying on the ground with Cooper once again. Picks up around 6.
They're doing a good job of following Gregoire as he pulls and allows Cooper to constantly have at least 4 to 5 yard gains in this first half of the game.
Blitz up the middle. Crum still with time to throw. Launches it to the sidelines. Drifting out of bounds. And that one is incomplete.
Bowling Green does a good job right here on defense of forcing the pass out of bounds and not allowing the receiver to make any type of play.
3 receivers to the left. Cephas split out to the near side. The run up the middle. BG is there. J.B. Brown, you see, making that play.
J.B. Brown on the play, but they also send Dabney on the blitz, which causes Cooper not to be able to run in that gap. 4th and 5.
Crum again looking to the sideline. You'll see a lot of this throughout the game. A little surprised they're taking a look at this.
Sideline warning. Bowling Green. This is their first. There is no yardage assessed. It is only a warning. 4th down.
That is a point of emphasis this year in college football. We've seen more of those sideline infractions. Sometimes officials will overreact early in the season just to set a tone, but we're halfway through. We're now into conference play. You're still seeing those calls.
Yeah, it's a point of emphasis, so they're trying to let teams know, even though the game in the season is already progressing, we're still having the same emphasis, and we want to make sure that you guys know.
Kent State 5 of 10 on 4th down. They're going for it all. Cephas in the end zone, and it is batted down at the last second. Incredible play by the secondary of BG. No shock. Davon Ferguson in on the play.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 34 with a blow to the head. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
Another costly penalty. We are in the first quarter, folks, and they are racking up the defensive penalties.
Bowling Green's going to have to really focus in on not getting these penalties right now. You'll see right here, Horn comes in, and he avoids the block, but then now as he tries to get to Crum, he hits the ball, but also gets his hand on top of Crum's head.
All right, the handoff. Cooper swarmed in the backfield and brought down at the 20-yard line. Hey, Ryan, in your days in both college and the NFL, this is something that continues to be more of a point of emphasis. How hard is it, though, not to commit those penalties when you're flying into the QB?
It's extremely hard because at the end of the day, it's all reaction. You're trying to anticipate what the other guy's going to do, and it's really hard to not try to hit somebody.
This time, Crum will take it up the middle, and he lands around the 13-yard line.
They do a bit of misdirection right here. They like to give Nykeem Johnson the ball on the edge on those jet sweep type of plays. And one thing they did was fake it to him and did a quarterback read like we talked about before, which allowed them to get about 6 runs on this play.
He had 4 rushes, 69 yards. We're talking about Nykeem Johnson, so the threat is there and on film. Certainly, this time Cooper brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Terrific defensive play, this time by Bowling Green. Kelly in on the hit.
Yeah, Kelly does a good job of setting the edge. And one thing that's really important in the run game is setting the edge. Right here, you see they do a stunt play, which causes Kelly to set the edge and don't allow his outside arm free. And then he doesn't allow Cooper to bounce outside at all. That's a great play by Kelly.
Andrew Glass will attempt the field goal. 32 yards from the right hash. It is up, and it is through. So they countered the field goal, but the Falcons were able to get on the other end. That gets that lead back up to 7 points. The freshman kicker able to go. In fact, we got a chance to talk to Coach Lewis this week. I asked him, freshman punter, freshman kicker, and he said, yeah, it's been a little tenuous at times, but he does have faith in those guys.
Yeah, he has faith in those guys, and he understands what they can and can't do. And I think that's the reason that he went for it on that 4th down situation, because that was right in the fringe. He understands that his kicker is good around the 42-yard range, and he was really close to that range. So he's like, I trust my offense, and Bowling Green got the turnover. This is the biggest thing that's really been hurting Bowling Green this whole game so far, is these is these penalties.
Yeah.
If they stop these penalties, I think this game will be a little bit closer than it is right now.
Think about it. It spoiled the drive where they might have been marching in for a touchdown, and then on the other end, they got the stop. Yeah. They absolutely got the stop with the big attempt. On the other end, they get levied with the 15-yard penalty. And you're right; those are the types of things for a very young football team that are so costly. Kickoff is up in the air, fielded at about the 7. Down the sidelines and out around the 30-yard line, which is where Bowling Green will take over possession of the football.
One thing that I learned playing football, 15-yard penalties turn into points. And we just seen that happen to Bowling Green twice. They had 30 yards worth of penalties, which puts one of the best offenses in the MAC in great position to score. And they only got 3 points on it, and that shows you how well their defense is, but they have to stop these penalties.
In terms of just slowing down the offense, they were able to do it. McDonald all alone from the gun, steps up, delivers, and incomplete. Sims just tried to turn around and start running a little too fast and unable to haul it in.
Yeah, he actually turned around, Bench. He turned around before he even got the ball, and that's one of the things that receivers and tight ends have to really focus on, catching the ball before you make a play.
Handoff by the Falcons, about 3 or maybe 4 yards to set up more manageable 3rd down attempt.
3 and 4 yard runs are exactly what Bowling Green and most teams want when they have any type of offense. 3 yards, 3 of those leads to 9 yards, and you get it 3rd and 1 in those type of situations. So you definitely want to make sure that you can have great runs and allow the team to be in good position.
Meanwhile, Austin Osborne onto the field on the far side, 3rd and 6, 25 seconds to go. Here in the first quarter of play, McDonald looking to throw, caught over the middle. Easy pitch and catch to Jalen Embry, and a huge 1st down.
That was a big 1st down right there for the Bowling Green Falcons. They put Osborne in motion, and then McDonald does a good job of reading the coverage, and then Osborne is wide open in the middle of the play for him. One thing that I've learned is that motion really leads to the guy that's getting the ball when you're starting to watch offenses. Offenses like to move that guy around to make sure you get in position to have him.
And that'll do it. Our first quarter of play is in the books. 10-3, Kent State with the lead. A whiteout. It's homecoming. 2nd quarter. Next. picturesque day here on the campus of Kent State University. First conference game of the year. These players as amped as you can imagine to start things out. And we got a good one so far. Bowling Green trailing by 7. First down and 10. McDonald from the gun, looking left. Quickly out of the backfield. It's caught and near a first down. Just like that, the completion.
Yeah, they do it.
Tarek Keith is there.
They do a good job of just, like we said before, just having a short pass and then keep the ball on the edge and then allowing him to just make a play and giving them a short but long run right there.
Jason Patterson back into the game now, and movement once again.
Ball starts. Offense, number 52. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Jeremiah Bankswell, you can see the frustration. He knew immediately.
This really young O-line is starting to hurt Bowling Green, and they need to really focus in and not start all these penalties right here.
So pushes it back to second down and 6. McDonald. That ball thrown harmlessly out of bounds. McDonald looked a little confused after that play. Didn't seem like they were all on the same page.
Yeah, McDonald, he tried to get the screen pass going, but then he seen that Kent State seeing exactly what was going on, and he just, let me get rid of this ball and not force over the turnover.
The officials conferring right now might have been part of the confusion.
There is no foul for an ineligible receiver downfield. The ball is thrown out of bounds. By rule, there is no foul. Third down.
Yeah, the second part of that, it seemed like they tried to catch him on a wheel route.
Yeah, I feel on that play right there, it was a screen pass, and then he started to scramble, and Osborne was just trying to improvise with McDonald in that situation and just try to find something that was open, but McDonald, I think he was just trying to get the ball out of bounds.
You wonder, it'll be 4-down territory up here, third down and 6. And everybody bunched together around the hashes. McDonald looking left, now over the middle. It is caught. First down, looks like Sims all the way out to the 30. So calm and collected as he delivered that football.
Bowling Green does a good job. Bowling Green does a good job of protecting. They sent the house. They sent both of their inside linebackers, and then Broden gets wide open, and then you just see him make a play, and was a target for McDonald right here. And first down, Falcons.
Yeah, Broden was big in the passing game a week ago. 4 catches, 44 yards. And now all the way down to the 30-yard line. This is exactly what they want to do. Eat up some clock. And there's the handoff, maybe a yard and a half. Patterson, nowhere to go. There sets up 2nd and 8.
The Flash just get initial pressure right here, and Patterson has nowhere to go. Harmon just forces his way into the line and doesn't allow Patterson to find a path, and that was a good stop by Kent State on this 2nd and 8 play.
Osborne checking into the game on the near side. McDonald looking, has to roll out under duress, doesn't get rid of the football, and he is dropped. Big time defensive play by the Golden Flashes defense.
C.J. Williams right here just gets enough pressure to allow McDonald to get out, and then Massiano was able to get the sack, and that's an overall team defense right there by the Golden Flash.
Just a costly play again. That works just like a penalty. Your 3rd and 25. McDonald is back to pass. This one, he does get off. It's Osborne, and he gets a bunch of it back. He's dropped at about the 34-yard line. So very fortunate to get a big chunk of that back, which possibly gives them more makeable field goal.
right here, Kent State, all they have to do is make sure he doesn't get the 3rd and 23. So they allow all the underneath stuff and then just come down and make the tackle. It looked like Osborne can find something and try to make something happen, but Kent State does a good job of forcing him to stay underneath and forcing that field goal.
Needham already connecting on 1 field goal today. This to try to cut it to 4. This is a deep one. 51 yards. Does he have the leg? It is good. Floats just over the crossbar. Massive, massive field goal by Nate Needham. They needed it, and he delivered as he's able to make this the longest of the year. Cuts that lead to 4. Kent State with it next. There's a look at week 2 of a full slate of action. Mid-American Conference play going on today as we speak. Some big games of Bowling Green. This very team, you'll see them hosting Akron a week from today. Ohio, still bizarre down there in Athens not to see Frank Solich patrolling the sidelines, one of the all-time great coaches in this conference.
There's always a lot of good action in the action.
Love seeing it every week, and we got a good one here today. The short kickoff fielded at the 15 by the upback, and this is going to be great starting field position for Kent State. A very solid return to start things out. That is Brian Bradford who gets them in solid field position.
It looked like Bowling Green does a good job of actually trying to keep the ball away from Nakeem Johnson, but then they give it to Bradford, who is a back in the staple of this running back stable that they have at Kent State, and that's another guy that you really don't want to have the ball in his hands.
6 feet 243. You see the numbers from Crum early on the day. Already 53 yards of total offense. Doing it on the ground and through the air. That pass is caught near midfield. Ingram is there on the play. Make that Abram. He had a big game at Iowa. 6 catches, 138 yards. This time the handoff to Xavier Williams. Bottled up. Short of the first down marker.
Xavier Williams right here gets about 3 yards just following his interior lineman and Allen and Moonen, and just now it's a 3rd and short situation, and this is always the situation you want on offense.
Crum throwing near side. It's caught again. Abram is there to make the first down and keep the chains moving.
Kent State understands that Bowling Green is going to send a lot of pressure, send things from all over the field, so they're just getting the ball out quick and just getting what they can take.
Yeah, wasting little time. Crum again from the shotgun. A handoff. Left side, another nice run. So now riding the hot hand of Williams. Earlier, it was Marquez Cooper. So as advertised at the start of the broadcast, Ryan, you said they'll get both of these guys involved.
Yeah, they definitely want to get both of these guys involved because they both bring something different to the offense.
They spread them out, but hand it off. This time, it's Williams again for another Kent State first down.
They just give Williams the ball, and he does a good job of just following his lineman right here. Williams gets the ball and follows Gregoire and Kunick, and then just gets the first down.
And now Crum looking to the far side. Beautiful throw and catch. Terrific job as Dante Cephas comes back to the football and makes the grab.
That's such a hard throw right there that Crum just made, throwing it to the long side of the field and forces Cephas to come back and make a great catch.
Crum, this time the keeper, and it causes all sorts of problems as he's into the next level of that Bowling Green defense.
Crum, like he's been doing all game, he's doing the read option, the read option, the read option, and right here the read option, he reads the DN and just keeps it and forces himself for a 10-yard gain.
And there you see it again, but this time Bowling Green is ready for it. So when you're reading the eyes of Dustin Crum, what are you supposed to do if you're in that BG defense?
Right here, Dustin Crum just reads number 99 and just, I'm just going to do my best to get away from you. And he does a good job of getting away from Sat, and just great run by Dustin Crum right here.
Crum again with Williams next to him. And this time he holds it, delivering in the end zone. He's got a receiver. There's contact, no flag, and incomplete. Nykeem Johnson, the intended target.
Bowling Green does a good job of now allowing him to make this catch right here. You see Anderson does a good job of playing his hands through the ball and not allowing Nykeem Johnson to be able to come down with this catch. That's a great defensive play right there to stop the touchdown.
Yeah, Anderson, the game-sealing INT a week ago up in Minnesota. Crum, step back, looking, throwing in the end zone, or near it, and it's caught. No, the official says out of bounds.
Incomplete pass. Fourth down.
Kent State sees that it's going to be a blitz coming from the right side of Crum, and they do a good job of blocking it up, and Nykeem Johnson is open for the 12-yard out route, but is unable to come up with it with Crum throwing the ball out of bounds.
Now pay attention, Dustin Crum, your holder, Andrew Glass, will attempt it from 33 yards. BG getting set up. There's the kick, and it is good. No problem at all. Trading field goals right now as the defense is getting stingy. Down by the red zone, 13-6. PG. Welcome back. Kent State with the 13-6 edge over Bowling Green. Nothing like the last two times these two teams played, which is, I think, what Kent State coach Sean Lewis expected this week. The last 2 years between these two teams, it has been decisive victories.
Yeah, they weren't pretty, I promise you that.
But so far, hanging in there, just some costly penalties by the Falcons.
Ruling on the field is a touchback.
All right, they'll start at the 25-yard line. So you give up 124 points over 2 years, and certainly that is going to cause some moments in preparation where, yeah, Coach, I don't even know if they make you watch film at that point. Right?
This is 2 games, and in 2 games, if you let up 700 yards and over 120 points, that's 60 points in both games and 700 yards in both games. That's something that's very unacceptable. You see that Bowling Green is doing a better job this game of playing them, but they just have to stop these penalties.
Crum all by himself, throwing out of the flat, and it's off the hands and incomplete. Make that McDonald. Coach Leffler, he's been talking about just what a process this is going to be to try to turn things around. And he was very honest with himself when he took this job. He knew it was going to take some time. Some of his mentors in the biz, they said it's going to be a while.
Yeah, this isn't an easy task, but he's doing a good job so far.
McDonald now on the run. Can he avoid going down? He gets rid of this last second, and it's caught. The second effort, absolutely incredible. And Teron Keith.
Kent State gets pressure on him. Harmon's right there, but he breaks away from the tackle. Then he does a good job of getting keep the ball while he's getting tackled and just making a play for his offense right here. That's a great play by McDonald.
Dean Clark was there to make sure it didn't get any worse. 3rd down and 2. Osborne in motion. This ball caught over the shoulders. Out across the 44-yard line for a huge first down for Bowling Green.
So they have Keith right here in the backfield, and they fake the play action and fake the jet sweep, and then allow Keith to come out on the naked boot, and then McDonald does a good job of just throwing it over his head and forcing the first down. So moving the chain, 7:20 and counting.
McDonald will take his time. He is looking down the field. Uncorks one, but it is incomplete. Off the hands of Sims. Looked like he had a great opportunity there.
Marcelino was right there in the passing window, but Sims, he has the ball right in his hands, and he's just unable to catch it. That was a good throw by McDonald. He's constantly being on target with all his guys today, and he's playing a great game. They just have to slow down on these penalties, and I think this game is going to get interesting as we keep watching it.
McDonald, this time the handoff, but nothing much there at all. Kent State in on it immediately.
Bowling Green's trying to start a run game, but Kent State is all over it. They have Hines right there at the play, and they had Holmes there, and it was no way that he was able to do anything and allow him to make any type of play. So now we have a 3rd and 9 situation, and that's not what they want to be in.
McDonald stepping up in the pocket. He has room. It's caught and tackled just after midfield. Few extra yards by Patterson, short of the marker, and now could it be decision time, Ryan?
I definitely feel like this is decision time. The Falcons most likely are going to go for it in this situation because their defense has been slowing down Kent State, but they have not been stopping them. And their offense has been moving the ball just as well as Kent State has. They just haven't scored any touchdowns. So I feel like they're going to have to go for it in this situation if they want Kent State to respect them and feel like this is going to be a close game.
Only 10 on the play clock now. Late substitutions coming, and under center with Osborne in motion. 4th down and 2. McDonald on the move, looking down the field, thrown up in the air and caught at the 30-yard line. Incredible play and an unbelievable leaping catch in traffic by Christian Sims. But another flag on the play.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 4th down.
Time and time again, Bowling Green is shooting themselves in the foot. They do a good job of getting on the edge, and McDonald does a good job of getting on the edge, avoiding Cook and allowing him to make a good throw to Sims. But right here, Murphy, their senior O-lineman, is a little bit too far downfield, and it causes them to, it forces them to punt the ball.
Well, it negates one of the best plays we've seen so far today, but unfortunately for the Falcons, that's been one of the running themes in this first half. Missed opportunities as they were wheeling and dealing at the 30, but instead now forced to punt. That is fielded at the 8. Room to run and dropped down at the 20-yard line. Nykeem Johnson. And that is where they'll take over the football at the 20. Kent State up 7. Welcome back to Dick Stadium on the campus of Kent State University. Kent State with it, up 7. Big drive here with 5:15 to go. Penalties have been a factor. 50 yards already tallied by Bowling Green. Only 5 for Kent State. And that was one of the stories coming into this game. Crum on the keeper up the middle. He's got room to run. Finally brought down at about the 35-yard line. 15-yard gain.
Crum averages about 30 yards a game, so they want to make sure they constantly give him the ball while he's in the game, and he's showing that.
They are going fast. Abram on the screen. He took a hit. He's sent down at about the 40-yard line. Here's that keeper.
He does the play action fake, then they fake it back, and then they have Koenig set the lead block for him, and then he just follows Koenig and then gets about 15 yards on this rush right here.
That has got to be frustrating for the defense. Can't commit till you finally know 100% where that ball is. This time it is a handoff, and dancing out of bounds. It's Marquez Cooper. Doesn't even take a big hit on the play. Walks out of bounds.
Dustin Crum does a good job, like we've been saying all day. He's just holding the ball and looking at the defense and allowing Cooper to take off, and then doesn't allow the D lineman to be in position.
This time, Crum will throw to the right side. It is incomplete. Would have been near that first down marker. Cephas, normally sure-handed, can't bring it in.
Cephas right here was looking to make a play before he caught the ball, and it did not allow him to come up with the catch. He was thinking more about the end zone than he was thinking about making the catch in this position.
Jaysean Polk into the game in the slot right now with Cooper in the backfield. They'll take the handoff, and he is dropped down. Nice tackle. BG defense is there.
Anders does a good job of shooting the gap. Kent State tried to run the ball to the weak side of the field while they have everybody else on the strong side and pull Johnson, but Anderson was reading the play, and he was not having that.
Crum will try to step up. Now he has to run. He is brought down. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. And so now the punting unit coming onto the field for Kent State.
Brand starts the initial pressure right here and forces Crum to step up, and then once he starts to move around the pocket, he has nowhere to go. And that was a coverage sack, but also the D-line does a good job of just stepping up and not allowing Crum to start anything. And this is the first time they officially stopped Kent State's offense. So let's see what Bowling Green has to do on this second drive.
Freshman punter Josh Smith will angle this one away to the far side and around the 10-yard line. Fair catch signaled. And that is where Bowling Green will set up shop. Stick with us. A week ago, the talk of the college football world. Bowling Green, a statement win. Their coming out party. You saw the 2 touchdown runs by Matt McDonald, but the defense, they were the difference down the stretch.
Their defense has been playing great. They're playing well in this game as well, but they just have to make sure they stop all these penalties.
They're going to hand the ball off. They start at their own 12-yard line. Long way to go, finding themselves down 13-6.
They pull Zimley and Grant and allow Patterson to have a running lane, and you get a nice solid 5-yard game right there. If they keep that up, they can have a good running game, but they have to make sure they have 4 or 5-yard gains for this offense to have sustainable drives.
They did. They picked up 5 right there. This time McDonald will operate under center. The man in motion. And the handoff up the middle it looks to be close, and it is enough for a first down. So getting those chains moving, important when they were in the shadows of their own end zone.
It looks like they plan on starting to run the ball in the beginning of this drive right here. You see Bowling Green, they have bench in front of Patterson, and it allows him to be able to follow Patterson into the hole and gets another 5 yards to start off this drive with a nice run game.
Under 2:15 to go into the first half. Kent State has 3 timeouts. Bowling Green with 1. McDonald gets him set, looking to throw for the first time in the drive. Over the middle, the shot taken at the 40. The question is, did Broden hold on to the football? Officials conferring. Let's take a look.
McDonald sees Brogan. That is a crazy looking pass right there, but he does a good job of getting the ball and keeping it.
That looks like a catch to me. Ruling on the field, as you heard, was incomplete.
Now back looking at it, that might be
ruling
an incomplete.
On the previous play is an incomplete pass. That ruling is under further review.
And he took a shot as well. Right around the shoulder pads, important there as well, as you know what happens if it's helmet to helmet.
Yeah, they're reviewing this play right here. McDonald does a good job of seeing his big target Brogan, but Brogan takes the big hit, and that might have forced the ball to be able to bounce up like that. And I don't know if he had complete control of the ball when it hit the ground, because if you have control of the ball when it hits the ground, it's definitely a catch.
All right, let's re-examine this. There's the big hit. He goes to the ground. And even if his hands are not completely underneath it, like you said, Ryan, as long as he's controlling it downward on the way to the turf, it still can be considered a catch. The question is this irrefutable evidence?
It looks like the ground forced this ball to pop up, and if the ball forces the ground forces the ball to pop up, they're going to call this an incomplete pass right here. I don't feel like this is going to take too long, but you just never know in these type of situations, because he did like he had control of the ball as he was going down, but to me it looks like the ground forced the ball to pop up, which causes it to be an incomplete pass.
All right, so I thought he had it. You thought he didn't. We'll find out with the official review. It is close, though. And boy, does Leffler want this one badly for Bowling Green to have this drive.
Yeah, it just looked like the ball is moving a little bit as he hits the ground. If he hits the ground and then the ball doesn't move, and then while he's on his back it moves, I think it would have been a catch. But on this situation, I think they're going to call it back.
Here's your head referee, David Siegel.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
You got it.
Incomplete pass.
And the fans absolutely love it. Shay's here with a smile on his face, not because he's rooting against Bowling Green. He just wanted to get me on that one, and he did.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm a very competitive guy, so that was a little competition I had right there. I was excited to see that I was able to get that one right.
Man, Bowling Green just a day late, dollar short on some of these key plays. That would have had them in prime position, and now they're sitting back at 2nd and 10 at their own 23. Here is the handoff, swallowed up behind the line, but he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Some big hitting starting to go on there on the football field. Is Kent State swarming around the line of scrimmage.
Bowling Green is in a complete running set right here, and Kent State sees that, and they just have everybody in the box. They try to pull Van Garter and allow him to lead the blocker, but
Charge timeout. Kent State, their first of the half.
And there's a smart move,
Please
obviously.
adjust the game clock to 1 minute, 55 seconds. 1:55.
Now Sean Lewis going to use the first of his timeouts, wanting to get that football back. And this is a very delicate time of this ball game for Bowling Green. You think about if they end up with that big connection and they're in business, they can eat more time. Even if they don't come away with points on the drive before the half, they go into the half somewhere around this score. But if they get the stop here, Kent State, they get the ball back and score. Now you're going into halftime. You might be starting to hang your head.
you definitely don't want to be in this situation right here. Bowling Green definitely wants to make sure that they get this first down because they know Kent State can score in less than a minute and 30 seconds. So they want to make sure that they get themselves in a good position and have momentum going into the half.
1:55 to go. McDonald gets a three-man rush. He has room to operate. He still has those eyes glued down the field, but he takes the hit at the 30, and he is taken down short of that first down marker.
30 seconds. Charge timeout. Kent State, their second of the half.
So Kent State will use the second timeout. Still one more left in the pocket.
4th and 1 right here. What are you doing?
The game clock to 1:45. 1:45.
Woof.
What are you doing?
They got it at 4th and 2. The very conservative stance here would be, well, you got to punt the football, because if you give them the short field, this offense, you could be in big trouble. Did they trust their defense? If you trust your defense, don't you kick it away?
If you trust your defense, you kick it away, but you also know what you're working with and also know what you have, what you're going against. You were able to stop them 2 times in a row, and you will believe that your defense can stop them again, but you also know if you punt the ball right now, you give them the ball with 1 minute and 40 seconds, and they scored in this game in 1 minute and 28 seconds. It looks like they're punting the ball, so let's see how this defense holds up.
And remember, Bowling Green will receive the football to start the second half, so that could factor in to the calculus here. But they do have the punting unit on.
Their punter punted it 77 yards before, so I think that's one thing that they're going to try to get out of him right now.
Matt Naranjo, it is a fake, and he throws it wide open, incomplete. It sailed over the head of Carl Brooks. They fooled me, Ryan, because I saw McDonald over by the bench. Maybe they didn't tell him that they were throwing the fake.
Honestly, I feel like this is a great play call and a great fake. Unfortunately, when you have the punter throwing the ball with pressure, it's a little bit different than having McDonald throw the ball with pressure. And he threw it to Brooks, who is a DN, and he's not used to those type of situations, catching the ball over his head. I think it was a great play call in a great situation, but one thing about taking gambles, it could be good or it could be bad, and now you just gave one of the best offenses in the country the ball on the 30-yard line.
All right, terrific field position. The handoff, Kent State, now around the 31. Any chance, Ryan, that is a punter call, that if he sees a certain alignment, that he can change that on the fly? He is a senior.
In some situations, I think it is, but I don't think it was enough.
Dustin Crum, he has to scramble. He moves up in the pocket. He stays on his feet. He's out near the first down marker as he walks out of bounds. Very crafty run by Dustin Crum.
Bowling Green is constantly sending pressure at Dustin Crum, and Dustin Crum is doing a good job stepping up and avoiding the pressure, and he's using his legs like we talked about before. This is why they have a top 15 rushing game, because Dustin Crum can also run with these two great backs.
3rd and 3, this time the pitch. Cooper tries to get a full head of steam. He is upended. The big hit there, but it looks like another first down. The Flashes continue to be on the move here.
Ferguson said, hey, man, not in my house. Him and Nair are not playing around right there.
And Crum finds his target, Nykeem Johnson. They are moving it quick. So 4-yard pickup on first down.
30 seconds.
And we have
Charge timeout. Kent State, their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
All right, minute and 1. You think the timeout makes sense then?
I think the timeout makes sense, and the reason I feel the timeout makes sense right here is because when you get a first down in college football, it stops the clock. If you get out of balance, it stops the clock. So they understand that they have a lot of time still here, and they can be able to throw it, they can run it, they can do a lot of different things right here, and they're also in field goal range. So they know if they have a field goal, they'll be up two possessions. But if they run the ball and get a first down, it's a stoppage of the clock. If you get out of balance, it's a stoppage of the clock. And they have a senior quarterback that they trust in and believe in and feel like he would make a great decision on it.
Crum holds on to it again. This time, Cooper rips it away and gets down inside, right about the 10-yard line. Clock moving now, continues to go. Under 50. 3rd and 1. Crum throwing wide open in the end zone. Kent State touchdown, Aaron Hackett.
You see right here, Kent State does a good job of doing what they've been doing all game. They've been doing this RPO game, and they RPO it. Dustin Crum reads it, and then he gets the ball to his big tight end Hatchet. Right here, he RPOs, he reads the run, he sees that they have.
Number 75, 5-yard penalty for the previous spot. Repeat, 3rd down. The clock will start on the snap.
I apologize, we did not see the flag. We saw Kent State Golden Flashes celebrating, but what a pivotal moment. They called illegal man downfield.
That's the plus and the minus of the RPO game right there. Sometimes you have the lineman down the field.
A great observation. Crum looking again. He tries to move, and he's brought down. Fumbles the football. Bowling Green has it. However, the officials.
Moving on the field is the runner was down. Prior losing control of the ball.
Brock Horn had a gift wrap touchdown. Let's see if he's down.
Yeah, he's down right here. They do a good job of trying to rip the ball. One thing that coaches always say, ball search, ball search, ball search, but they do a good job of ball searching, but he's down right here. And Bowling Green does a good job of holding them to a field goal because they got the ball on the 30-yard line.
32-yard field goal attempt. Glass puts it up, and it fades wide left. No good. So the stop by the Falcons, so huge.
That is the end of the second quarter.
We got a ball game, an incredible stop. Huge momentum shift potentially. Bowling Green with a stop right before the half.
That's a huge momentum shift right here because they lost momentum when they did the fake punt and they didn't get it. But then they get the ball back to Kent State, and Kent State scores a touchdown but has a penalty. But then also Glass misses the field goal.
13-6. We have a huge halftime coming your way. Stats, highlights, analysis. You can't go anywhere. MAC football. All right, about a few minutes away from kickoff. Second half, homecoming here between Kent State and Bowling Green. 13-6 is our score. We've seen more field goals than touchdowns, but Ryan Shazier, there have been some opportunities for both teams in that first half.
There's been a lot of opportunities for both teams. Kent State, they're doing a good job of rushing the ball, but Bowling Green is holding them to field goals and not allowing them to score touchdowns where they're normally accustomed to. While Bowling Green, they're getting in position to score, but one of the things that they can't do right now is stop themselves from causing penalties. So once they stop all these penalties, I think this will be a better second half, but I know Coach Leffler made sure that he emphasized penalties in that halftime.
6 penalties, 50 yards. Bowling Green, boy, they came at costly times and costly distances. That really hampered them in the first half when it looked like they had some big-time opportunities. You saw one drive start to go backwards in a hurry when they were down near the red zone. That hurt them. Those are the kinds of things that a young football team, obviously, they want to address. I'm sure they heard about it at halftime.
They had 3 situations when they either where they either got the first down and it was a penalty, or they stopped Kent State twice and ended up being a penalty and putting them back in situations to be able to go back down and score. So if they would have turned those around, they possibly could have scored, or they possibly could have stopped Kent State from scoring, and this game will be a lot closer than it is.
Now looking back, and we'll find out more after the game, but what did you think of the fake punt? It didn't come back to haunt them because of the missed field goal, but Bowling Green, deep in their own territory, called the fake punt. It was open, but it didn't work.
It was a great play call. I just don't feel like it was the right personnel for the play call. You have the punter who probably practiced that 100 times, and he threw it to Brooks 100 times, but he never had 4 guys barreling down his throat, and Brooks never anticipating catching the ball over his shoulder. That's a hard catch to catch if you're a receiver who practiced that 100 times a day in practice and you're a D lineman, and it's very tough to catch that when you don't practice that at all.
Yeah, again, didn't totally come back to haunt them, although they might have had an opportunity to put points on the board, but he had a lot of room to run in front of them.
Yeah, he laid it out for him to get it, but Brooks, he's not used to making a catch like that. He is 6'4", 295. That is not something that he's accustomed to doing. He's more used to, sacking the quarterback. He has 2 sacks on the season. He's more used to sacking the quarterback and getting pressure on the quarterback, not catching the ball from punters.
We are underway here in the second half. Ball fielded at about the 10-yard line. And there is a crease up the middle of the field. On the move. This is exactly what BG needed coming into the second half. Finally drilled out of bounds around the 15-yard line. But Teron Keith, boy, he absolutely had a wide lane, and boy, did he move.
Keith starts off by just following his blockers, and then he just patiently makes a cut, breaks this tackle right here, and all he has to do is beat Glass. Glass does a good job of just staying close to him and forcing him out of bounds. That was a great play by Glass, forcing them not to be able to score a touchdown right here.
The kicker, sometimes they look real bad in situations like that. Instead,
he looked good.
Might have saved some points. There's the handoff to start things off, down to about the 10-yard line. So a nice 5-yard gain to begin things.
Right here, they do a good job of following Grant and Patterson, he is just focused on getting these 5-yard gains right now. If they can constantly get these 5-yard gains, this will put Bowling Green in great position. And they haven't been down here the whole game, so to be in the red zone, I know they're really excited about it.
We're seeing Jamal Johnson now in the backfield for the very first time. He takes the carry, but is met by a wall of Kent State defenders. First of which, Antoine Cook is there to make the tackle.
Cook, West, and West. It's 2 West down there. It took Cook, West, and West. They do a good job of forcing pressure and not allowing Johnson to get anything and forcing the 3rd and 5. This will be a really big play right here for Bowling Green if they can score a touchdown right now or even get the first down.
Tyson Patterson in the backfield. From the 10-yard line. The handoff. Patterson still on his feet, angling towards the marker. This is awfully close. They're going to want a measurement.
I don't care if it's 4th and 1 or not, you have to go for it in this situation. You haven't been down here all game, and you start off this drive great. I know it's been really tough for them to be able to run the ball, but right now, all you have to do is get an inch. So make sure that you can get an inch. And
it's the sneak. Does he get the push from the pile? Mosley from behind tried to help out. And they signal first down. Gutsy call coming out of the locker room.
I think that was the right call for Bowling Green to make right there. Their defense has been playing well. They have all the momentum coming out at the half, and they've been doing really well at running the ball in this drive. So they have to make sure that they can finish this drive off strong to let Kent State know they're there.
Now from the 4, golden opportunity. BG McDonald in the end zone. Ball is caught. Tyrone Broden turns around and holds onto the football, and a chance to tie things up.
Bowling Green right now are extremely excited about what just happened in this situation. They have Brogan, who is a big target, and just allow him to have a jump ball and be able to make this catch right here over Miller. Miller's one of the better DBs for Kent State, but hey, we have a 6'4" guy right now, and we like him over you being 5'10", and that's exactly what they did. And here we go, tied up, well, hopefully.
A grown man's catch there in the end zone. What a confident drive, a 4th down conversion. We are tied at Kent State. BG quieting the fans, at least until their next drive. McDonald with the touchdown strike. We'll see what Crum has. Welcome back as you're watching Mid-American Conference football right here on ESPN. Welcoming people from all over the country, as well as from the MAC footprint. We got a tie ball game for you, Anthony Lima, Ryan Shazier. A little bit surprised by how easy that was?
I'm not surprised at all. Bowling Green is coming out of halftime with the momentum, and then they started off with a hot kickoff return. So let's see what Kent State can do to answer that touchdown.
This kickoff fielded in the end zone. They will run it out. Trying to counter with field position of their own. Nykeem Johnson out across the 42-yard line. We'll see where they mark it. So both teams trading very big kickoff returns, about the 3rd one we've seen so far in this game.
Yeah, Nykeem Johnson, he was an all-ACC returner last year. He's coming in and just follow his blockers. He see Pohl right in front of him. He's following him, and then he just makes sure that he capitalizes and uses his athletic ability to be able to get this Kent State team in great field position.
He'll take it at the 43, Dustin Crum, first half. Crum was making good decisions. The handoff going nowhere. Crum was 8 of 13, throwing the football for 59 yards, but on the ground, he had another 52 yards. Looks like we have a flag. Referee's conferring.
Illegal formation, offense, 5 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, repeat, first down. Please adjust the game clock, 12:35.
As if you have enough to worry about if you're Bowling Green defensively, you're looking at all your keys, you're trying to figure out who has the football, and then they got 5 in the backfield.
Kent State's trying to trick them and just do too much, and they tricked themselves on that one.
So 2nd and 15, Crum looking to throw. Pocket starting to break down. They'll roll out to the right side, and he threw this one near the sidelines, out of bounds towards Cephas. So no real harm, but the third, make that the 2nd down, coming up from Kent State.
You have Hire and Roberts causing the pressure up the middle, which forces Crum to go outside the pocket and made a really difficult play for him to make, and he just wanted to make sure he didn't make a turnover right there.
Remember, their offense slows down a little bit if they don't convert early, so they took their time. Crum, he takes a shot, had a man. It was Nike Johnson, and he had nobody in between him and the end zone, but that pass just a bit overthrown. Was it late pressure maybe getting there?
The guy that Bowling Green loves a lot right here, Anders, just has pressure on him and forces him to overthrow the ball and just makes him miss it. Nike Johnson right here on this wide open play.
You saw a lot of that last week against Minnesota.
They really like Anders a lot. He's a guy that they really trust.
So 3rd and 15 behind the sticks. Haven't seen a lot of this from Kent State. Crum, flag thrown as he continues to roll out. He's going to keep it, and he's going to get all the way to the 38-yard line, but we have to wait on the flag.
Yeah, that was a holding right there. Brooks does a good job of getting on the edge of the defense and causing.
Holding, offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, 3rd down.
You see right here at the top of the line, number 44, Brooks just gets on the edge, and then Kunitz holds him so he doesn't get the sack and causes the 3rd and long. So that's a great. This is a turn of tails right now, a turn of house right now, because penalties was hurting Bowling Green in the beginning of the game, and now they're hurting Kent State.
Well, we wondered where some of the pressure was from Bowling Green that you saw last week in that game up in Minnesota. You're starting to see it here in the 2nd half. They're pinning their ears back, and now in basically 3rd and forever. Xavier Williams staying on his feet. What an effort, but he's finally brought down. The tackle by Jordan Anderson will force the punt.
Bowling Green that drive did a good job of just playing great defense. Everybody did their job and forced everything underneath them. And then when it was a 3rd and long situation, they got after the passer. They haven't had that all game. And with them being able to do that today, it forced the penalty and put Kent State in a really tough situation. And now Bowling Green has the ball with all the momentum. So this is getting decided right now.
BG going to bring it.
Looks like it.
Josh Smith able to get it off. That ball bouncing right by the sidelines, and Bowling Green chance to take their first lead of the game. Welcome back. All sorts of action going on as we speak. That game up at Ypsilanti delayed right now against Northern Illinois. There you see the incompletion on the football field.
Bowling Green right there just trying to do something quick, get a quick 5 yards. Unable to come down with the catch right there was Osborne, and it puts Bowling Green back in a really tight situation.
You know, some people don't believe in momentum. I know the analytics people say it does not exist. Sometimes, Ryan, you play. Does it feel like momentum might have shifted here?
I definitely feel like momentum has shifted. Analytics, having played football, and I have, and I 100% agree that the momentum has shifted on this play.
Play action. McDonald looking to go down the middle of the field. Ball is caught. Tyrone Broden out across midfield. And about the 46-yard line is where they'll mark it.
One thing Bowling Green has been able to start doing is running the ball a little bit. And with them being able to run the ball, it sets up the play action. And this play action play right here sets up Brogan for this big dig route and allows him to be open, a 6-foot target, 6'4" target in the middle of the field for McDonald right here.
Jalen Embry on the field at receiver. Jason Patterson back in the backfield as well. McDonald will operate under center from the 49 is where they officially mark it. Embry in motion. They'll throw out of the backfield. Nice catch, but upended at midfield. So 1 yard loss. Kent State all over it.
Cheryl, their senior DB right there, their grad DB, he was able to see that they was trying to do a play-action play right there, and he was not having it at all.
So a 2 yard loss. Christian Sims banged up on the play. His medical staff attending to him right now. All right, they'll tend to. We're all tied, 13 apiece. Welcome back to Kent State. Homecoming weekend. Some of the students always worry that they leave at halftime and that they don't come back, but they better stick with this one. It's going to be a good one.
This is going to be a really good game. Coming into this game, they didn't think Bowling Green was going to have it, but Bowling Green is telling them, hey, we're ready for the action.
McDonald stepping up to throw. Easy catch on the right hash and gets even more yards. It is Tyrone Broden. Boy, they are developing a connection over the last quarter and a half.
McDonald's really trusting Broden right here, but it's also a testament to this young line. They're setting up a nice pocket for McDonald to be able to throw in, and he has a huge target that's 6'4" right down the middle of the field, and who doesn't want to throw it to a big body guy in the middle of the field?
Now from the 33 with Osborne in motion. Play action. McDonald throwing, deflected at the line of scrimmage where it'll be incomplete.
It looks like we have a penalty right here.
I just realized I'm not seeing these because green logo, or the yellow logo in midfield. It blends in.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. That fast flash, that yellow flash right there gets you.
I've seen that from time to time up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I had a few really good teammates that went to this great university. James Harrison, Rosie Nix. Yeah, you know, they talked a lot about their great university, so they loved it here.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 56, for spitting on opponent. That player is ejected. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Well, the costly penalty, they've gone against BG so far in this one. However, we're going to see if we can catch it right here.
Whoa.
Some extracurricular, you saw it?
Yeah, you saw that one right there. That's unacceptable. In football, you might want to tussle, you might get mad, you might get upset, but one thing you can't do is spit on another player. That's something you can't do out there.
Maceo Williams gets the heave-ho for the unsportsmanlike conduct. So not only is it a penalty, not only is he ejected from the game for unsportsmanlike, however, it sets up great field position and another first down for Bowling Green.
That's one thing that we've been talking about, freshman mistakes. We've been seeing those happen throughout today, and now they're starting to bite the flash back themselves.
McDonald will throw. It's caught down by the sidelines.
Bowling Green likes to do this quick pass game. That's like the supplement of the run for them. Sometimes they have a really tough time running the ball. So they have Johnson swing out to the flat really quick and be able to give him the ball and allow him to make the play, which got them 6 yards.
2nd and 4. This is like Kent State's been on defense the entire quarter. That's Kroom in motion this time. The handoff to Mosley. He'll get it to the end zone. He'll take the shot, but he'll get the 6.
We have a flag on the play.
Another flag on the play. The touchdown will count.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 14. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. The result of the play is a touchdown.
This is a great design play right here. They send Crum on the motion, and they've been running a lot of this naked boot, but then they follow him with Mosley, and then Mosley just followed Crum and into the end zone right here. He just runs through those guys and said, hey, BG is here to play.
You saw Elvis Hines with the penalty there. This is quite the comeback. Right now, Bowling Green with 14 unanswered.
Mosley right here gets the ball, patient, and follows Crum and just carries Hines into the end zone. And by the time he gets hit by Dean Clark, he's like, hey, it's a touchdown, baby. I'm sorry. It looks like, to me, it looks like Bowling Green are the homecoming upsetters.
Well, they did it a week ago. And last week, if you pay attention to Vegas, they call it the biggest upset in 9 years in college football. And so a lot of people were wondering, how did that happen? Was it a fluke? You know, a team that can't really run the football all that well. Their coach has talked about that throughout the season. Here we are a week later, on the road again. Doesn't seem to faze them. They get down in this game. They were in big trouble right before the half. But again, defense got the stop. And now here comes the offense by Bowling Green.
Bowling Green understands if you have a solid defense, it allows you to be in every single game. So they weren't worried about their ability to run. And when they came into action, they understood, hey, it's time to play football.
This time the short kick and brought in about the 25-yard line is exactly where Kent State will take over the football. But 6 minutes gone here in the third quarter. And, you know, we wonder, you know, the mentality of Sean Lewis after the last 2 years and then following the upset last week up in Minnesota by his opponent today, Bowling Green. He was going to have the attention of his guys. He knew this game was not going to be like the last 2 years.
He definitely knew that. He said that coming into the game. But Bowling Green, they hit them in the mouth in the second quarter, and it's really throwing this team into limbo.
All right, the give was to Cooper. So 2nd down and 2. They pick up a Crum, 1 for his last 5. Uncharacteristic from him. That's a slippery handoff by Marquez Cooper, and he moves the chains. Kent State getting back to what they do best, running the football.
Cooper just stays behind Moonin and then just follows his blocker and gets a nice run. That's how they established the first half, and that's what they need to continue to do.
This time the pitch, and Cooper tries to get to about the 43-yard line, maybe a gain of 2.
They want to get Cooper on the edge. Bowling Green, Kent State wants to get Cooper on the edge because he's a playmaker, and they weren't able to do anything on that play right there.
Here comes the tempo. Cephas behind the line of scrimmage, stays on his feet, tackled forward past midfield, and the Gold Flash is starting to find their rhythm again offensively.
To me, this is starting to look like the first drive of the game. They were getting Cooper and Cephas the ball, and that really drove them down the field, and it seems like they're about to do the same thing right now.
That up-tempo we talked about all game long, and another first down run. Impressive effort by Cooper. And he's letting them know about it.
Well, Cooper said, feed me, feed me. Right now, he's just staying behind Moonin and Johnson and allowing him to be able to have a nice solid run again.
So now to 36. This time Crum takes the hit. He was looking for Cephas, but he got absolutely drilled. No chance to complete that pass.
Forward pass. 2nd down.
Bowling Green said enough is enough. They sent Horn on the blitz. He avoids the blocker and just crushes Crum right here. That was a nice safe hit, and can't say anything about it. That's a good play right there by Horn in the Bowling Green defense.
You saw a lot of that last week by Horn, Darren Anders up in Minnesota.
Plays like that slows down this Kent State's team, and it really helps out the Bowling Green team when they slow down.
All right, Crum will throw again. He has all day to throw. Receiver comes back to make the grab. And on his feet until he gets to the 20. Late flag thrown again, maybe a face mask. And now Kent State in business. And Dante Cephas keeps the chains moving.
I credit that whole play to his O-line. They allow him to just sit there and throw the ball and be able to do what he wanted to do. Crum just sat there, had patient time in the pocket, and allowed Cephas to open up. And then Cephas just did the rest himself, and then also causing a
personal foul, illegal blindside block, offense, number 11. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, second down.
Well, let's take a look at it here. As that'll wipe out the big throw and catch.
One thing in college football you cannot do is blindside block, and that's blocking somebody that's coming back towards the bench. And that play right there, and that's why they called it back right now.
And probably unnecessary at that point by Chris Leach. And that one hurts big time and takes them all the way back to second down and 10. Crum looking for the end zone. Abram, incomplete.
Crum eyes got so big on this play right here. He drops the ball, and it forces him to speed up his process, and he overthrows Abram right here. He gets the snap, drops it, and then he sees, oh man, he's open, and just tries to get it out quick, and he reacts a little bit too fast.
Oh, and, he wanted this one.
He knew he missed him on this play right here.
The snap may have thrown him off. Here comes the blitz up the middle. Crum, they pick it up. It's complete. Night King Johnson, and he is there for the first down out across the 25-yard line.
This Golden Flash O-line is doing a great job of blocking for Crum, and it allows Nakeem Johnson to get past the coverage and then just a nice target in the middle of the field.
Crum on the keeper for the 20 to the 15. He'll get inside the 5 before he's finally tackled. Incredible. You've seen it with the arm and now with the legs.
One thing that's been working for the Flash all day is his read option. In his read option, he does a good job of faking the run and reading the DN, and then just now he does the rest by himself, and Crum uses his legs.
He'll go pistol. This time the handoff. Cooper angling his way towards the end zone. Waiting for the signal, and they are coming in from the side to mark that just short of the goal line.
Kent State's doing a good job of constantly giving Cooper the ball. That's what really helped them score in the first drive, and they're starting to do that right now a lot.
Crum runs up to the line of scrimmage, second and goal. He's going to pitch it out to Cooper. They are ready for it. He is dropped for a big-time loss.
Bowling Green defense was prepared for this play. They knew that Crum likes to do something like this, likes to get in the option, and they were ready for this, and they did not allow Cooper or Crum to get anything. And what did we say? Anders right up there with the tackle again. This is the playmaker for the Bowling Green defense, and he makes a great play right here. But Dabney and all the guys around him do a good job of forcing Cooper to cut back inside and allowing Anders to make the play.
Abram in motion. The handoff on 3rd and 4. It's a touchdown for Kent State. There he is again, Marquez Cooper.
Kent State sends Abram in motion to move the defense, and once he moves the defense, it picks everybody out of their alignment and allows Cooper to have a nice run, and like he's been having all day behind his big lineman Gregoire, and allowing him to score this nice touchdown right here.
Chance now for Andrew Glass to tie things up, and he does just that. We are knotted up at 20 apiece. What an answer by the Golden Flashes, and able to do it too after they got sidetracked a little bit, and then they got right back to what they do.
The Golden Flash do a good job of constantly running the ball this drive. They noticed that worked for them effectively in the first drive of the game and allowed them to score a touchdown. And Coach Lewis came back and was like, let's go back to what works.
Let's take a look at Dustin Crum. We know how mobile he is, but He's been big.
Right here, you see him read the DN and then breaks the tackle on Anders and just gets down there. That's one thing that makes this Kent State team so effective is the fact that Crum can throw it and run the ball well. You see Cooper right there he's having a great game today. 27 touches with 109 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, man. This is a really good game by Cooper, and like we said in the first half, it's been a Marquez Cooper show. Whenever they've been giving him the ball, he's been having a really successful day.
And Dustin Crum, we've been seeing that since his days up at Midview High School in the Cleveland area. He is a graduate student for the Golden Flashes. He's now played in over 30 games, started over 20. Here's another short kick, and this one handled by Bowling Green. And look like they may have a loose football, but Bowling Green.
Bowling Green starts off with a nice kickoff with Keith right here, and a great return to set them in to great positive position and allowing them to get this key fourth down and then just trusting their big body receiver in Dobbins and allowing him to catch the ball. Then they give the ball right here to Mosley and allow him to run it in. So it's been a tale of two halves right now.
He'll take over at the 32. McDonald, he throws it over the middle. It's caught. And that ball is on the deck. Kent State says they have it. Bowling Green says it should be marked down. We'll wait on the call. And the officials point to the direction of Kent State. We'll wait on the official call.
Kent State is the #2 defense in turnovers in the whole NCAA, and that's the one thing that's been allowing them to have these really solid games.
Is a fumble recovered by the defense. That ruling is under further review.
All right, so they'll take a look at it, and so will we. This is a pivotal call coming up and a pivotal review.
The ball looks like it's moving. Yes, that's a turnover. That's a turnover right there, and Kent State does a good job.
So let's see here. He was on top of a Golden Flash as he was being driven to the ground. That ball comes out right there. The only question is, where are the back of those shoulder pads? Right now, for the angles we've seen, that looks like a fumble.
For all those that don't know, when you're laying on a guy, that does not count as down. So with him being on a guy and then forcing the fumble, that still makes him eligible to be a fumble or an active player that can run it. So this is a fumble. This is a great play by the Flash right now.
They made quick work of this review. Our head official, David Siegel, sprinting across the field, and it looks like he has to take a look at a different monitor. Some technical difficulties down there on the field. Did you see his 40 time on that? What'd you rate him at?
I'll say he is at least 4.9 right there. He looked like he can keep up with some guys.
Yeah, that's the old school way they would clock that thing up in the stands, the combine and Indy. Now they're using like drones now. They don't even need the old school clock.
Have you learned from COVID so far? Everything's turned into the technology.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah, they don't need to be there at all. But he has taken a look at this one. And again, from the views that we have seen so far, no way they could overturn this. The only question is if they have any other reviews from the other side.
Yeah, from what we see, I don't see them overturning this play right here.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Recovery by the defense. First down.
Huge turnover there, and Kent State is fired up on their sidelines, and the fans getting involved as well. A costly mistake by BG.
Kent State is the #2 team in the country in turnovers. They have the #2 team in turnover margin. So one thing that they're doing really well is turn the ball over and then giving quarterback Dustin Crum and this great rushing offense time to run the ball and get back on offense.
Johnson was in motion. Crum will come back, complete it to Cephas at the 22. Flag on the play before he's finally driven out of bounds. We'll see if this one stays. They are starting to walk backwards.
Ineligible receiver, downfield, offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
Like we talked about earlier in the game, when you're doing these RPO style of plays, you have the lineman thinking that it's going to be a run play. So if you don't get the ball out fast enough, that's when you can start to get all these guys down the field. And once again, Kent State with the penalty.
Here is the handoff. Bowling Green, the interior, is there to meet him at about the 39-yard line.
Bowling Green really trusts their D linemen, and they understand that they can get the pressure. And Hawkins was the first one right there, and then allow Cooper to get anywhere and forcing them to the second and long.
Crum will throw. He has a man over the middle, and it is broken up. An incredible play. It would have been a huge one, but Horn is there. Surprise, surprise.
Horn does a good job of playing his hands through the face of Hackett and doesn't allow him to catch the ball. And that was going to be a tough catch. Crum puts the ball right on top of his big tight end right there, but unable to catch it and unable to come down with it.
That is a linebacker speeding down the field to make a play. Crum will throw over the middle. Looked to be a little confused on that play. Looked like they were showing blitz at the line of scrimmage, but instead they went back. Looked like it might have confused Dustin Crum.
To me, it looks like Spears was able to actually put his hands on the ball and got a little bit of pressure on Crum, and that's why the ball came out a little funky.
So they get the stop. BG does.
BG's defense in the second half is really stepping up.
Josh Smith will hold on to that ball forever. Finally sends it away. And at the 8-yard line is where Bowling Green will take over the football. Embry signaled for the fair catch. The big stop by BG. They had a number of them a week ago up in Minnesota.
BG's defense is doing what they said they would do. They're the number 2 defense in the MAC, and they're showing everybody, hey, when our team needs us, we can step up, and that's why that they're playing so well today. Their team turned over the ball, and it's like, hey, McDonald, we're going to get you the ball back, and they didn't allow Kent State to do anything on that turnover.
McDonald looking to throw quickly, pitch and catch, just a few yards though over the middle of the field.
One thing that's been working for them is these quick games all game. Bowling Green has done a good job with just having these quick throws, 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards. Those little throws like that is allowing them to be able to keep it down the distances in their situations favorable for them. And that's why they're doing well on offense right now.
2nd and 5, clock ticking under 3:50. McDonald, ball deflected right there at the line of scrimmage to make sure that one never had a shot. Looked like Aiden Huntington, one of the defensive ends, there to bat that down.
Yeah, Aiden Huntington, he gets pressure on McDonald right here and just puts his hands up and doesn't allow the ball to go through. And that's a great play by this true freshman right here to make a big play for his team and causing the 3rd down and 5.
At their own 14, Austin Osborne in motion. McDonald, he has to run. He's going to keep it. He's going to get out to the 23-yard line, and that is enough for a Bowling Green first down. Receivers were covered. He used his legs.
Bowling Green goes in motion, pitch Osborne in motion, and you see McDonald looking for him in the pass right here, but then he starts to get pressure, and he feels the smartest thing to do, make sure I get this first down, and he runs it. He doesn't get a lot of credit for his legs, but when he needs to, he can make sure he can run.
Big pickup there. So it's another first down. As Bowling Green gets set. From the gun again, McDonald quickly throwing over the middle of the field, and another pickup. Ryan, you said this quick game these are basically running plays, right? I mean, most of the time they're able to get positive yardage. We know they struggle running the football, but they're able to get good yards on first down doing this.
If I can't get 5 yards rushing the ball, you know what Bowling Green is doing right now? They're doing 5 yards passing the ball, and just quick game, quick game, quick game. Kent State's not sitting down on the quick game, so it's just like, I'm gonna take what you give me, and that's exactly what they're doing. And I applaud Bowling Green right now because they understand they can't run, and this is a substitute for it.
McDonald under center. Very few times in this game as he sends Embry in motion. Flag is thrown.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
We know they want to take their time. They just don't want to take that much time to get their play on.
Bowling Green and Kent State are complete opposites. One wants to speed it up and go fast, 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 and the other one's slow and methodical. And Bowling Green, there was a little bit too slow, like you were saying. You get 40 seconds to have a play, and that was a little bit too much time for him on that one.
Takes it back to 2nd and 9. 5 receivers on the play. Quick screen. It's Osborne. He's got room to run. Blockers in front of him, finally taken down across the 42-yard line. Big pickup. The quarterback throwing the screen to his high school teammate, Austin Osborne.
McDonald throws this quick pass to Osborne. Then you see Murphy come out here, sets the tone on this kick-out block, and then Osborne does the rest and just make sure that he gets a nice game. And like we said before, quick game equals runs for these guys right now.
This will be play action. Guys bearing down on him. McDonald's taken down. The big sack and a big defensive play for Kent State. The Golden Flashes getting in there to bring him down.
Kent State sends Hines on the edge and forces McDonald to step up and goes right into Davis's lap. This is a great design blitz by Kent State to slow down this drive because Bowling Green has been doing a good job of just holding the ball as long as they want to, and they've just been moving the ball this whole drive right now.
Play action again. And brought down again, like a carbon copy of the play before.
It's almost like deja vu. They send Hines again on the blitz, which causes McDonald to step up. And right here, you have Coleman right there ready for the sack. I think one thing that Kent State is doing is showing them we're going to continue to start blitzing you and make sure that you can't have all the time in the pocket.
3rd and 20 seconds left. This is one of the final plays of the 3rd quarter. See how aggressive they are. McDonald, boy, he's looking to throw, instead dumps it off out of the backfield. And finally, play is made. And that means Kent State is going to get the football to start the 4th. We have a 20-20 ball game. Don't go anywhere. The conclusion of this one, right around the corner. Welcome everybody back to Kent State, a tie ball game, but a huge stop just now by Kent State. So we'll begin the 4th quarter with the Golden Flashes having the football. Bowling Green will punt it away. Now last week, Matt Narano had a 77-yarder. They'd love to flip the field right here.
They need to flip the field right here. Bowling Green, they had a tough second half of this drive and causing all these turnovers, so punts.
Does get the punt off, and boy, there was all sorts of contact. Could be illegal touching by Bowling Green, as it looked like they might have been the first to touch it, as a flag is thrown. But dangerous nonetheless. A lot of bodies around where that football landed.
Can't get too close to that ball, man. I know you want to get close to the receiver and the returner, but one thing that Bowling Green has to make sure that they do is giving him that net. You have to have at least a 2-yard halo around the receiver who's receiving the ball on those punt situations.
Now, Nykeem Johnson, you know, I didn't see him signal for a fair catch. He was right there in the middle of it.
They don't have to have signal a fair catch. You still got to give them at least a 2-yard window, though. So you have to just make sure that they're careful, and you don't want any guys getting hit before.
For catching interference, the player was blocked into the receiver. First down.
Okay, so no damage done. Apparently, we'll try to sort things out here. Yeah, it did look like Xavier Williams sprinting down the field. We did see it. He did push him into him.
yeah, he pushed him into him. And when you get pushed into that halo, then it's not a penalty. But if you run into that halo by yourself, that causes trouble.
Crum just 11 of 22. Nothing big, but his feet have made the difference on these scoring drives for the Golden Flashes. So they'll set up shop at their own 26-yard line.
Bowling Green's been showing us who they are all game. They have a top 15 passing defense, and they only allow Minnesota to have 5 completions last week. And you see that Crum has only have 11 this week with less than 100 yards. So their pass defense is up there, and they totally understand that, hey, we have to stop this run.
Not touched during the play. The end of the play was at the 18-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 at that spot.
Let's back it up a little bit.
Yeah, so as long as Bowling Green stops this running game, they have a solid chance because they believe in their passing game, and vice versa. Kent State has to run this ball well if they want to win this game.
Another pitch. Xavier Williams trying to get to the outside. There's nowhere to go. Bottled up and around the line of scrimmage.
Kent State tried to get Xavier Williams on the edge. Like we said earlier in this game, he's their faster of the 2 running backs. So they wanted to get him on the edge. But Bowling Green and Nair were right there and did not allow him to do anything.
Nykeem Johnson back on the field. In for Leach. Crum throwing right to Johnson. And now they will run right up to the line of scrimmage.
Kent State had everybody just spread out and just did a spacing concept and allowed them to have a quick throw.
This time they bunched everyone up, and that pass deflected at the line of scrimmage. A huge defensive play. And a stand. Looks like Roberts was there. And Kent State can't believe it. They thought they had an easy first down pickup.
Bowling Green's defense has been stepping up this whole second half. And you see Roberts right here put his hands up. And when you can't get to the quarterback, one thing that you want to do is get your hands up and get in those passing lanes. And that's exactly what Roberts does right here. Forces the 4th down and gives Bowling Green the ball right back.
Josh Smith, another punt. He's standing at his own 11-yard line. Sends it away. Embry trying to get underneath it. Catches it. And he is dropped at the 36-yard line. And now the defenses starting to make an impact, getting some stops. We're tied again. Anxious moments here at Dix Stadium on the campus of Kent State University. You see the score. We're all tied at 20. This crowd was whipped into a frenzy earlier. But homecoming, seen Bowling Green spoil one of those a week ago up in Minnesota. Can they do it again today?
Bowling Green has been eliminating these penalties, and with them eliminating them, it's keeping them in the game.
There's the handoff. Nowhere to go. Kent State was ready for the run play on first down. Looked like Jamal Johnson and West in on the tackle.
West does a good job of forcing on the edge, and then he doesn't allow Keith to get anything on his running game. And this is why Bowling Green has been doing a lot of these short passes, because it's been really tough for them to run the ball when they wanted to.
They gave him a yard, so 2nd down and 9 at the 38. McDonald throwing, and it's caught for a first down and more by Levi Kazarek.
McDonald right here has great protection and gets the ball out quick, gets it to Garrett, who almost got the ball picked off by Hines, but great secure catch, and then now he has to do the rest and just be a big guy running down the field and allowing him to be able to be a nice target.
Elvis Hines was sitting on that, waiting, and just a fraction late. McDonald throwing once again down the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. Had a chance and a big one down the field.
He was trying to go back to his big tight end, Gutierrez, and McDonald, he was just a little too high on this throw right here. He had him open, but he just threw it a little too high. He understands that he has a big target, a 6'5" guy going down the middle of the field, but sometimes when you know you have those bigger receivers, you throw it a little too high, and that's what happened right there.
McDonald looking, patted down there. Nowhere to go with that football. And a 3rd down and 10 coming up.
Matt Harmon does a good job putting his hands up. And like we said before, if you can't get to the quarterback, make sure you get your hands up. And that's just as big as a tackle at the line of scrimmage or an incompletion, because now you're forcing them to convert a 3rd and long. And that's something that been really tough for the Falcons all day.
Kent State now get the defensive stop they so desperately need. McDonald directing traffic on 3rd and 10. He has a crease. He throws it down the field, up in the air, and caught down to the 15. Christian Sims, his big target, holds it in.
Bowling Green right here does a 4-vert concept, and McDonald just sees his big tight end Sims right down the middle of the seam. He throws it overneath Lawrence Burke and then allows Sims to be able to just come down with a great catch. That was a great throw and catch right there.
And now all the way down to the 16-yard line.
This is a running set right here. It looks like they might run the ball.
And they do just that. And again, Kent State.
You're thinking about basketball.
You know what? That's what 4 straight NBA Finals will do for a basketball fan like me. But Kent State, they were ready for him inside.
They're the same colors too. Lawrence Burke does a good job of just being in position and not allowing Mosley to find anything in the hole, and he just forces his way in there and stops the ball for only a 2-yard run. Bowling Green back in red zone territory. Last time they scored a touchdown.
McDonald throwing again, but is flushed out to the right side. He'll tuck it, and he is thrown down at the 20-yard line for the sack. A big defensive play. Is that Aiden Huntington again?
Aiden Huntington is making plays all over the field. This is a true freshman, and he just ran down a really athletic quarterback right now in McDonald. Huntington is not playing around, and he is telling everybody, I am here to stay. And one thing that he did is just show up on that big sack right there.
Now you're at the 20 right now. Be a 37-yard field goal. You know, McDonald and BG, they want this first down bad. He has time to throw, delivers it over the middle, picked off! Huge turnover! Ill-advised throw leads to the big-time INT. The Golden Flashes get exactly what they need, and what an opportune interception.
What have we been talking about all game? Turnovers, and that is one thing that Kent State does a good job of.
All right, after the interception, it is going to be Kent State football. The defense forces a turnover. Now it's the offense's turn. They just saw the 10th INT on the season for Kent State. Huge play, A.J. Mussolino, another graduate student on this defense. That was a big one there.
Kent State needed that one.
Here comes Crum, pocket collapsing, steps up. He's going for it all. Nykeem Johnson, and it's It's just out of reach. He had him. Would have been 6.
Bowling Green is sending this pressure from everywhere, and it's forcing Crum to overthrow some of these routes. You don't normally see Crum do that often, but you see the pressures coming from everywhere, and he stepped up and takes the hit, but overthrows them, and Horn does a good job coming down the barrel and forcing Crum to throw the ball over Nakeem Johnson's head.
Feeling that pressure. We are now under the lights here at Kent State, Dick's Stadium, one of the great venues in the Mid-American Conference. Dustin Crum, this time he hands it off to Marquez Cooper, still on his feet, and he's finally brought down around the 30.
Cooper is one thing that's been working really well for the Flash today, getting him the ball and having the 2 pullers right in front of him. And that's one thing that they try to do again right there, but they was only able to get 4 yards on that one.
3rd and 6. Crum throwing to the near side. It's hauled in. Abram had it, and they mark it right at the marker. It's a Golden Flashes first down.
That concept right there is called a sticks route. The Golden Flash has Abram do a sticks route right at the sticks and gets the first down and allows them to keep his drive moving.
This time the carry. That is Pope, but a flag thrown in towards the end of the play.
It's been a tell of 2 halves. All the penalties are coming on Kent State this half. In the first half, it was all Bowling Green.
Personal foul, legal block, below the waist, offense, number 77. 15-yard penalty from the spot of foul. Repeat, first down.
Oh, you can tell the frustration. The head coach, Sean Lewis, still one of the youngest head coaches in the FBS at 35 years old. But that one is a biggie because it sends them all the way back to 1st and 25.
Those penalties right there are considered drive killers.
Crum. He is taken down, but he stays on his feet. Some magic. And he's going to turn it into a positive gain. He's taken a big hit at the 32-yard line. Well, he fooled just about everyone. It looked like he was going to be sentenced to a sack, but he lived to see another day.
Bowling Green comes with the pressure right here. You see that they was able to get Brand, but Brand wasn't able to grab Crum, and then Crum uses his legs. That's been able to help them all game, and then takes a big hit leg at the end of the play.
Crum will look to throw, barreling down on him again. Spinning, does a pirouette before he's finally brought down.
Brand finally gives him, he gets the pressure again on his drives, causes Crum to step up in the pocket, and he bounces off of another tackler, and then Brand was actually able to get him at the end of this play.
Boy, BG, they are pinning him back. And in 3rd and 13, my guess is they're coming again. Sidestepping his way, out of harm's way, wide open, down the field, it's Jason Polk with the catch and the first down. Incredible effort by Crum.
Crum is making magic happen in this half. He steps up in the pocket, he sees the blitzer comes, he wasn't able to get him, and gets the ball to Pope and gets the first down and keep this drive moving.
What a conversion. We're under 8 minutes to go. It's getting fun here at Kent State. Xavier Williams rocking his way down to the 30. And another first down for the Golden Flashes.
We didn't see much of Xavier Williams this game because Cooper's been running well, but Daniel and Mooney sets up the block and allow him to have a nice run on this first down.
They've got Johnson in motion instead, the handoff. And stayed on the move and still going with tempo. You wondered if at all they would change their identity, try to hold that football. No, they are still the same Kent State that started this game running down the field.
They're flash fast. If they change up their offense, then that's going to be a completely different team, and they want to stick to the values that they have. And with them doing that, it makes it tough on defenses. That's why you see that whole line shift like that.
I don't think Sean Lewis was happy they allowed that substitution, but it works out. Xavier Williams staying on his feet, finally brought down another first down. They're making it look easy now.
Koenig and Gregoire do a good job of pulling and allowing Williams just to follow him and set up a nice run.
Here's the handoff, Williams. But this one blown dead.
Prior to the snap, charge timeout. Bowling Green, their first of the half.
Can't blame Scott Leffler for calling the TO. Stick around, Kent. We got a good one. No surprise, opening week of full action. We are deadlocked at 20 and under 7 to go. 1st and 10. After that huge third down conversion from Crum, they are moving the football. Inside handoff. And this time, Xavier Williams may have got a few.
Moonen and Hatchett are pullers on this play right here, and they just have Cooper follow them, and allow them to just get a nice 2-yard gain right here.
Take a look at Jay-Sean Pope there in the slot, the top of the screen. Meanwhile, Crum gives it and nowhere to go. BG was ready. That'll set up a huge third down. And right now, Golden Flash is 9 of 17 on third down conversions, but no bigger than the one they have here.
This is a huge third down conversion right here. One thing with having a veteran quarterback, Crum understands that he has to make sure he protects the ball right here. So we're going to see what they do.
And Crum again, signature RPO. He's going to keep it. He's going to waltz into the end zone. Touchdown, Dustin Crum.
There's no way to protect the ball any better than doing an RPO right here with Dustin Crum. Dustin Crum, he reads the DN and takes the ball away right here, and then makes the tackler miss. Darby and Crum just does what he does best, runs the ball and helps this Kent State offense score a touchdown.
And they had a chance at him, and so slippery. He gets into the end zone. What a drive. Folks, one-score ball game. Bowling Green will have it next. 6:03 to go. You're watching Mac Football on ESPN.
Time out on the field.
Look at that early October football backdrop. Kent State on the huge 13-play, 74-yard drive takes the lead. And some big plays highlighted a big possession to give them the lead as Kent State will kick off to Bowling Green. We are at the 6:03 mark at Kent State. You just kind of felt like this was going to be a good one throughout this game, and we have had a doozy. Ball is into the air. Short kick. Fielded at the 22. And Patterson takes it out to the 38. Decent starting field position. Well, let's take a look at that last drive.
Right here, Dustin Crum is just a magician. He gets away from this Bowling Green Falcons defense, and he just been stepping up and moving around the pocket and just making nice throws for his team to just move this ball down the field. And then they give Williams the ball a bit and allow him to make some plays. And then right here, Crum makes Dabney miss and scores the touchdown on the third down.
What an asset to have a guy with that much experience on a pivotal drive. Here's a screenplay by Bowling Green. And they have been getting nice yardage on first downs throughout most of the second half.
They've been doing a lot of these quick throws. Bowling Green has been doing a lot of these quick throws to start off the game. And right here, they do a screen pass to Keith to allow him to be able to get the ball with some blockers in front of him. Almost like another run play, but just in space.
So already after the nice return out to the 42-yard line, you wonder about the short kickoff, giving them some good field position. McDonald all by his lonesome. With 5 potential targets. He'll roll out, flushed out, and that ball thrown behind the receiver. Question is, was it brought in by Broden? And the officials say yes. Everybody was staring at each other.
McDonald steps up in the pocket right here, and he has enough time. His linemen do a good job. And you see Brogan gets open on this play, and nice throw and catch.
And now they're quickly up to the line. McDonald surveying the landscape at the 42 of Kent State. Clock ticking for 50 and counting. McDonald again stepping up, and it's caught. Austin Osborne, yeah, his high school teammate, transferred here from Washington. Of course, McDonald doing most of the recruiting on that one. I don't think Leffler had to.
Yeah, Kent State's in a too-high defense right here, and Osborne does a good job of just sitting in coverage, and then McDonald has to actually run around a bit and then gets him open and throws the ball to him.
And now they have options on 2nd and 3. McDonald this time just the straight handoff. Patterson forging past the first down marker and around the 28-yard line before he's finally brought down. An impressive run.
Bowling Green hasn't been able to run the ball really effectively this game, but the thing is, whenever they do run the ball on those 3rd and 4s and 3rd and 3 type of situations, they've been able to run the ball. And right here, that's exactly what they do. They follow Zimley and Grant and just get the first down and allow Patterson to help this team keep moving the ball forward.
So now at the 28, we're under 4 minutes, folks. BG needing to punch one in. 3 receivers on the left side. McDonald will take it. Throws out of the backfield, deflected, and fortunately for McDonald, that one drifts to the turf.
Kent State sent that corner blitz again. That's something that's been really effective for them this second half. And Hines, he was able to get his hands on the ball because they were trying to get that quick pass out from where they were blitzing from.
How many times we called Hines' name out throughout the course of this broadcast?
Hines is a really good corner for Kent State. He's a very aggressive player, and sometimes you have to be careful around him when you throw the ball, but he's been blitzing a little bit today.
BG spread him out on 2nd and 10. Clock stop to 3:35. McDonald has a pocket. Oh, it's incomplete. He had Kevon Kroom down the middle of the field. He's not able to bring it in. He had mustard on that one.
Kent State was in a too-high defense. Kroom looks and sees, McDonald sees Kroom open, but he had to be able to catch that one, and that's one you need to have back. Now it's a 3rd and long situation. You're getting the crowd into this game. Bowling Green, this is a 4-down situation.
He knew that hit was coming, not able to hang on to it. And that run was stuffed at the line. Second effort, twisting, turning. Patterson gets down to the 25-yard line. Here we are. 3:20 to go, 4th down and about 6. Right, what do they do?
This is a 4-down situation because if Kent State gets the ball, you're scared they can even kick 3 points right here. So they have to make sure they get the ball back. And they've been doing well on 3rd down situations, so they're going to trust in their veteran quarterback, McDonald, and I can almost guarantee that the ball is either going to Osborne or Broden. He loves those 2 guys right now.
BG does have 2 timeouts. And the fans on their feet. McDonald has room to run. He takes off, leaps into the air, and that ball is loose. And Kent State has the stop. He went skyrocketing into the air. What a defensive play. What an effort by McDonald. But he couldn't get it.
Kent State sent the pressure, and McDonald steps up right now. And once he steps up, now he's just trying to run and make a play for his team. And right there, it was nothing he can do. It was nothing that he could do. He stepped up in the pocket. He felt pressure. He got a little rattled, and Kent State did what they do best. Forcing turnovers. It was a 4th and turnover on downs, but it was another turnover right there. And who makes the play? Huntington. This true freshman been making plays all day, Anthony.
Now the question could be, you had 2 timeouts. Do you kick the field goal there? Do you try to put 3 on the board and then send it away? You still are limited on time, but you would have needed a stop. You couldn't afford to give up a 1st down. You're on the road. You're coming off that unbelievable win a week ago. Do you think that's the right call?
I don't think that's a bad call at all. And the reason I say that is because Bowling Green's defense been playing well all day. And their offense has been struggling a little bit, so they want to make sure they have a little bit momentum and score right here. But they've been trusting their defense all season, and that's what they're going to do right now.
Obviously, BG will signal for timeout. Only have one left, and they bottled up that run on first down for a 3-yard loss. So 2:30 to go, and then the question now is just how aggressive will Kent State try to be on picking up this first down? Do they have any confidence in their defense where they can run this clock down and then send it away back to BG?
Kent State most likely is going to do what they're known for, and that is running the ball and trusting the run, keeping the ball in Cooper, Williams, or Crum's hands. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of RPO, a little bit of read option right here. But I think they're just going to try to run this clock out and then trusting their defense, because they know their defense can force turnovers, and their defense is going to be fiending because they know they're going to have to make them throw the ball.
All right, they do throw the ball, and he had all sorts of room in front of him, but he falls down. Keyshawn Abram.
30 seconds. Charge timeout. Bowling Green.
Yeah, Bowling Green calls their final timeout. I don't think anybody thought they'd actually throw the football, but he slipped and he fell down.
Thank you.
Kent State's doing something that's a staple for them, and that's the RPO. So they did the RPO, so they had the option to run it. Then Crum sees Hatchet wide open, and unfortunately he slips on this play right now, and it gets Bowling Green in a great situation, because what they're good at and what they're best at is pass coverage, and it's 3rd and long, and you're forcing Crum to possibly throw the ball to get this first down right now, because they might want to run the ball, but I don't think that'll be the best way to keep the chains moving.
Ryan, is BG going to bring it the way they did in the last few possessions a week ago when they were sending guys from every direction?
It looks like it to me.
A handoff up the middle, and it nearly gets to the marker. It's about a yard short. How did he get that many yards up the middle? Marquez Cooper, he basically almost ended the game right there. And now it's 4th and 1, and boy, do you have a decision by Sean Lewis. 4th and 1 now.
Kent State followed their senior linemen, Allen, Gregoire, and Monet, and just ran it right down the middle. And when you're 5'7", sometimes it helps you. You slip out of those things like that. And it's 4th and 1, and this is a big situation right here. If you're Coach Lewis, do you go for it, or do you punt this ball?
I think one thing you have to do is they'll take one of their 3 timeouts here. I think you absolutely
charge timeout.
have
to
get up to the line of scrimmage and use the hard count no matter what. You have your timeouts. If you're going to end up punting it either way, you don't even have to take a delay of game because you've got your timeouts. But you got to get up to the line of scrimmage either way on 4th and 1, don't you?
To me, I'm not saying that he's Lamar Jackson, but Dustin Crum.
In this game, he has been.
In Dustin Crum has been doing really well in this RPO style of offense. So I would put the ball in his hands and let him make a play. But Coach Lewis said, hey, we have the lead. I trust my defense.
Wow.
And they're punting the ball.
I'm a little surprised you don't just run a play either way, but 1:42, maybe they felt like they needed their timeouts in case something freakish happened and they got the ball back. But they are going to trust their defense.
Or is it a fake?
Well, Josh Smith is at his own 17-yard line. They're going to run this play clock down. Of course, the actual game clock is stopped.
30 seconds. Charge timeout. Kent State. They're 2nd of the half.
No, there might have been a hard count. I couldn't hear it from up here. The fans have been into it. Maybe there was a hard count. I don't know why you just don't run your offense up to the line if you're going to do that. But either way, I guess you still have a decision to make, but looks like they're going to be punting.
I played a lot of football in my career, and I think that's the first time I've seen a team call a timeout, pick the punt team out there on 4th and 1, and then call another timeout. That might have been the first time I've ever seen that.
Well, Bowling Green has been a very, very highly penalized team so far early part of the year. Maybe you're banking on something, but they look like they're going to set it away. So BG is going to have a crack at having this football.
Based off of this alignment, I would go for the fade. But they're not fair.
And they send it away. So it'll be fielded at the 28. Fair catch late, and that's exactly where Bowling Green will take over the football. But a long way to go for the Falcons with 1:36. Sean Lewis trusting his defense. And we'll see. There were late game heroics on defense a week ago by Bowling Green. Do they have it for their offense? That's a 39-yard punt, by the way. Would have liked to send that a little further.
That's what happened when you have a freshman punter. This is going to be exciting. What Bowling Green is good at is throwing the ball, and what Kent State is really good at is causing interceptions. So let's see how this turns out.
They need 73 yards on the drive. It'll start out with a dump off. That is Jason Patterson. And he is working his way up, but that clock obviously will continue to tick. 1:20 and counting. They need another 3 yards to at least temporarily stop the clock. And the fans starting to get on their feet here at Dick Stadium. That ball is taken. Who has it? BG looks like they might have fallen on it, but they are running out of time now. The huge defensive rush to force the fumble. An incredible defensive play.
West does a good job of ball searching right here and allowing his team to get the sack, and he doesn't even have to take the quarterback down. All he has to do is hit the ball.
Well, now they need 13. McDonald will throw left side, kind of heaves that one. It was anyone's guess who's going to bring it down, but it's incomplete. And so 4th down, and you're one play away from Sean Lewis and his decision being validated. As he trusted his defense made a play.
His defense made a huge play right here. West came out and made a great strip sack. That's a senior making a huge play in a big moment right there. And now it's time for Bowling Green to be able to make a big play themselves if they want to stay in this game.
And they are not sending them, only 2-man rush. And that ball is incomplete. He had a man. It would have been a first down to Broden, but they get the stop, only rushing 2. He had an avenue to throw the football, but he just couldn't connect.
One thing about pressure, it bursts pipes. And one thing with McDonald, he was able to step up. He felt like he had a lot of pressure around him, but once he stepped up, he had time, and he could have settled. But once you have the pressure around you, it forces you to react really fast, and that's what happened right there. And he overthrew his big tight end, big receiver Broden right there. And this was a great game. This was a great game right here, and we see Kent State come out with the win.
And Crum will kneel it, and that should be the final play, sealing the deal for Kent State. With the victory, will improve to 2-3, and just a gut punch loss for Bowling Green, who came here set to pull off another upset. They had their chances, but Kent State, just too tough, especially on the ground.
Kent State is too tough on the ground. They really force Bowling Green to be in really a tough situation, and it really allowed them to come out with the win.
So it is a final 27-20, and this play on that final drive. You want to talk about a key defensive play, basically ending this game? Well, it was right here.
They sent two guys, and that's all they needed right here was Kent State. That's all they needed. West gets on the edge. They try to chip him, but he avoids the chip, and he beats the young left tackle, Bank Walls, and it comes up with a huge play to seal the deal and allow them to get this win on homecoming.
Teaching moments for Scott Leffler in his 3rd year. Absolutely had the opportunity. Meanwhile, Kent State ends that 2-game losing streak. Exactly how you want to start off conference play here in the MAC, because they will host Buffalo coming up a week from today, and they got to feel good about maybe not playing their best, but still being able to grind out a win.
That's MAC play for you. you feel like you might be the better team coming into the game, but you also understand that this is a conference game, and you have to be prepared for anything. And all these guys understand that this is conference play, and it's time to go. And Kent State came back and did what they had to do in the second half, but Bowling Green came out strong and really forced them to button up at the second half of this game.
Terrific stuff for Ryan Shazier. I'm Anthony Lima, sending everybody home from Kent State, a homecoming victory. It was a whiteout. It was a hotly contested game, but in the end, Kent State holds on 27-20. What a game, and a presentation of MAC football on ESPN. So long.